Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on what's ahead for you during this upcoming Taurus season. So Taurus season is going to take place from around April 20th to May 20th. So this reading is going to specifically focus on the themes and situations of significance that you will be encountering as you navigate through that specific period of time. So we're going to be going into tarot and oracle messages for this today, and I am also going to be using charms for today's video as well. So if that sounds like something you guys are into, definitely keep on watching. Let's move into our disclaimers. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so some of the messages may resonate quite specifically to you and your situation, while other messages might not. If it doesn't feel like it's fitting your situation, if it feels like it doesn't resonate, just simply release the message and let it go. It's likely a message meant for someone else. Never let it get you upset. Remember, these are general readings meant for the general guidance of the collective who happen to be watching. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you could book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal situation. And keep in mind, guys, future is not set in stone. So whenever we are looking ahead into a specific period of time, if you ever see something predicted out for you that you feel you don't want in your life, you can opt to change direction because you have free will to make your own choices and decisions. This is just giving you a snapshot of where you're headed based off of your current energy. So let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. Today we are working with 3 piles. For pile number 1, we are working with this little purple Charoite cube. For pile number 2, we have this little piece of Fluorite. And for pile number 3, we have some green Aventurine. So I want you guys to think about Taurus season and what is ahead for you. Take a deep breath. Select the card or crystal you feel the most connected to. And once you have made your choice, scroll down to the description box where you'll locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected pile. See you there. Hey, pile 1, if you guys picked out this Charoite purple crystal, this is going to be your reading for Taurus season. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what's ahead for you. We are going to be starting with some pre-shuffled tarot and oracle cards, and then we will be moving into some additional cards as well as your charms at the end of the reading. So let's go ahead and get started. So you guys are starting off here with Death, 6 of Swords, Page of Swords, and Chiron. Okay. Okay. So for this group, I'm definitely getting the sense that you're moving on from something during Taurus season. Especially with the Death card being here followed by the 6 of Swords, this is very clear indication that there's something. I am getting a little bit of a heavier energy around this, but it feels like there's something heavy that you guys are trying to move on from here. With Chiron coming up, Chiron is like the wounded healer, right? And sometimes with Chiron, we are called to kind of understand the lesson around the things that are triggering us, our proverbial wound, if you will, and use this lesson to support and assist others. So this could be a theme for some of you because I do see here with the 6 of Swords, there's this energy of moving on with others. We have like this family energy here of moving forward together. And sometimes 6 of Swords can be talking about when we are helping others through a transition period or a tough time. Death is also about transition periods. But for a lot of you guys, I think that this Chiron energy is going to be more focused on you. There could be during this time a situation that's presenting itself that might feel a little bit triggering or that might feel a little bit familiar in a sense, like a situation that you've dealt with before that's bringing some stuff up to the surface for you. And you're going to have an opportunity, I think, to understand this a little bit better and learn how you can kind of acknowledge it and use it to help you as you navigate forward. So starting us off with the Death card, this is telling me that you guys are entering into Taurus season going through a massively transformational period here. And death is like a slow energy, right? It's not usually when we have a sudden drastic change overnight. There's some sort of like impending change that is coming through. So a lot of you guys for pile one probably already know this as you're coming into this reading, because you may have already been feeling the changes, or you may know of a situation in your life that is changing, that is transitioning right now. And I think that beginning Taurus season, letting this go is going to be kind of like at the forefront for you. And with Chiron being here, this might be something that's hard to let go of. This may be something that's hard to release out of your life. But the beauty of death is that death allows for rebirth. Oftentimes when we are getting this card, it is because something old, the old way that we've done things, is expired, right? It's past due for it to be for a change, right? It's no longer serving us, and there's something new and better that awaits us in the future. But it can be challenging to get yourself out of these types of comfort zones when you've been there for so long. To me, death is like really having to release and let go of familiar energy and just kind of drastically change and transform something in your life. And so I see with the Six of Swords that there is this energy of moving away, right? Moving on from the change, moving on from the old. For some of you guys with others at your side. Doesn't necessarily have to be though. This can very much be a single person journey for some of you guys. For the Six of Swords to be here, I also feel there's a sense of calm, right? Like there's a sense of calm and release in moving on and letting this go, because the Six of Swords is about transitioning from stormier, tougher energies into calmer waters. So I do feel, even though there is a little bit of a heaviness that I'm channeling in this reading, pile one, I do ultimately feel like things are going to be getting better for you during Taurus season, that you're moving into a time of peace after some turmoil or challenge that you have gone through. Some of you guys with the Six of Swords may be traveling or moving, something along those lines as well. And ending Taurus season, we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is about skepticism. It's about questions. It's about kind of being curious. And it's interesting. We've got this like cow jumping that keeps catching my eye, and we have this butterfly here that the page is looking at. Butterflies are a symbol of transformation. So I think with the page being here, pages are new energy, right? You're kind of a beginner to this new beginning that you're transitioning into during Taurus season. And you're starting to ask a lot of questions about this change that you're stepping into, right? But the butterfly here is already blooming, right? It's already out of its cocoon. It's no longer a caterpillar. So you guys are like starting off on a fresh new journey and starting to learn a little bit more about things through asking questions and being curious and maybe researching and looking things up, okay? With this cow jumping here, it feels like leap of faith energy. Like maybe some of you guys have really taken a giant leap. Maybe this is a situation where you're going to be feeling much more free from whatever it was you were dealing with in the past, because I get it very like whimsical, almost like the nursery rhyme about the cow jumping over the moon, even though that's not technically what's happening here. There is a cow that's jumping. Is it a cow though? I can't really tell. I think it is. Yeah, it looks like a cow. Very athletic cow. But there's like a whimsical energy. There's a lighter energy here with this as you're learning and exploring this new beginning. So let's look at this archetype card, and then we're going to channel some more oracles before we move into your charms. So for this group, we have the Shadow coming up, which I think that definitely fits into the theme of Chiron and death, right? The Shadow is all about understanding the unacknowledged parts of yourself, okay? Something that's been buried deeply, something that we don't always want to acknowledge. And we all have shadow attributes to our personality, right? Nobody is all rainbows and sunshine all the time. We all have tendencies to, sometimes behave in ways that are, not always the nicest, okay? We all have it. No one's perfect. But there's something about you guys acknowledging your shadow during this time. And maybe with Chiron being here and death being here, it feels like you all have a real opportunity to kind of dig deep and better understand yourself, better understand the shadow side of yourself, to acknowledge the things about you that are wanting to be acknowledged or that you've been pushing down or ignoring, right? You guys may be yeah, it's like it's like almost this energy where like instead of avoiding the dark stuff, we're starting to ask questions about it. We're starting to try to understand it a little bit better. We are acknowledging the shadow no matter how tough it is. And this might come in for you guys because of experiencing a trigger, something that's triggering you, a triggering change, something along those lines. So let's continue. We're going to pull a couple of these magical spell cards. So what else does pile 1 need to know about Taurus season for them? We have safe home. Interesting. So there could be moving happening for some of you guys, or your home life is transforming in some way. Let's see what else for pile 1. Ooh, we have friendship. I also have to call out death is Scorpio energy too. So you guys, and you have a lot of air energy here. So communication could be significant. The way you're thinking about things, definitely that deep transformative energy. But yeah, it looks like some of you guys with the safe home coming up, this transformation might be about your living situation. It might be about your physical space that you're moving or bettering in some capacity. If that's not the case for some of you, this might just be talking about the feelings of safety and security, potentially in your relationships with friends, right? With friendship coming up here. Or just feelings of safety and security in general. But friendship coming up is interesting. This says, bring to me friendship true, sharing laughter and understanding too. So it's kind of cool, like how we were picking up on earlier, that there's this energy of other people and moving on with other people. So there's something here for this group about true friendship and being able to connect with people who understand you. I'm wondering if some of you guys have dealt with misunderstandings in some of your relationships coming into this reading, or maybe you're having to kind of confront a side of yourself that came up that hurt somebody else, right? Maybe somebody did something to hurt you. And there's this acknowledgement, though, that we're going to reckon with that shadow side, but we want to be connecting with people who are curious and who understand a little bit better. And maybe that's some of what this Page of Swords is communication starting from curious, right? Understanding someone else's perspective that might be a little bit different from ours. So very interesting, pile 1. Let's continue. We're going to pull a couple more cards and then we'll transition into your charms. So what else does pile 1 need to know about Taurus season? Ooh, we have Electra, the lost star, rebirth, out of the darkness into the light. That's the vibe. It's very much the vibe, pile 1. Like there's a heavy energy here, but there's also an energy of relief and kind of lightening things up in your life a little bit here. You know, like death is hard, right? Transition is hard. Letting go of the familiar is hard. But through this change comes the opportunity for a rebirth, for a new beginning, which is beautiful because you can create what you desire when you have a new beginning. Let's grab one more of these. We have Maya. This says, the universal midwife, birth. I birth fruitful and sacred assignments. How interesting. So lots of themes for you guys around like death and rebirth during Taurus season. You guys could be doing something like creating something really beautiful, maybe something with friendships or starting to learn and ask more questions about a creative project or idea or something new that you're wanting to create for yourself here. You guys also do have the ruby star at the bottom of the deck. This says, I embody my authentic and sensual essence. So this is about being authentic. Again, like getting to the root of who you are, acknowledging sides of yourself that want to be acknowledged deep down that you've been maybe pushing down or ignoring for a long time. I feel like Taurus season is definitely bringing an opportunity for this group to be able to connect in a more authentic way with self, thus cultivating better connection with others. So this is beautiful, pile one. I'm going to clear off these cards and then we're going to dive into the charms. So we'll be right back. All right, pile one, I've got your pile of cards off to the side here. Let's jump into your charms and let's just kind of see what other messages we can get for you for Taurus season. So we're going to grab this handful here. Ooh, okay. Anything that's kind of falling off, I'm not going to take them. All right, so we've got this here, this here. Wow, it's so crazy. You guys have a lot with endings coming up. I feel like this diamond, yeah, I feel like it's meant to go, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll do this. Okay, we'll take it. All right, so we've got this guy here, this guy here. Feels like these are supposed to be here. Okay. I need to like get this laminated so it's easier for me to deal with. All right, so pile number one, what do we have for you? So I kind of am guided to start here like with the endings because I feel like that was a pretty like major theme for your reading. You guys have the squid here and you've got the strawberry. So the squid is talking about like, for me, getting deep, like getting to like the depths, the root cause of something. In the key that I have for the charm kit, the squid also can talk about threats, which is kind of interesting. And the strawberry resembles spring, is connotated with spring. So it's kind of interesting because I do feel like the biggest theme of your reading was about like death and rebirth and that Chiron energy of really getting to the root cause of the shadow of yourself or of the situation. And I feel like this squid is definitely talking about like the root cause, the shadow, going into the depths, right? Squid live deep in the ocean. We barely ever see them unless we're down there for whatever reason. And with it being right next to the strawberry, this is definitely about, for me, bearing fruit to a new beginning, which also came up with your cards. You guys also have this clear like diamond energy. So I love that when we kind of redistribute it, it came up here under self. I feel like this is about you guys having the opportunity to cleanse and clear your energy field. I also feel like this is, because it looks kind of like a diamond, which can talk about making a promise to yourself. So I feel like there's a promise, an honoring of self that we're doing during Taurus season. And it's an opportunity for you to purge and clear out the old again so that you can start anew. You guys have the letter A coming up under career. So there could be an initial of something of significance, a company, a person, a colleague, something along those lines. I didn't see a ton of career specific messages coming through for you, but that doesn't mean that this transformation cannot, be about career. Sorry. We do have the wheel here and the playing cards under health. So there's something about health. And this is not like a medical diagnosis. I have to disclaim that. Playing cards have to do with fate, and the wheel has to do with navigating something. So you guys may be navigating a fated situation with regard to your wellness during Taurus season. And I feel like using your intuition and maybe even following your heart around whatever this is. This may not even necessarily have to do with physical health, you guys. This can also have to do with mental health, spiritual health, however it resonates with you. I know for me, right now, when I get stuff about health, it's about my weight loss journey that I'm on. So that could be something for some of you guys too. And then we have the key and we have the clothespin for life purpose. So I feel like through this death and rebirth energy that you guys are moving through, this transition is helping you to secure some spiritual insights about your purpose. So through letting go of this old stuff, you are now unlocking the right path for you. You're unlocking the path that is more in alignment with your authentic self, more in alignment with your purpose, right? And we also have the skull and crossbones coming up over finances. So there is, with this, I think just a little bit of a warning around your finances, just making sure, just keep an eye on them. It means there's red flags, caution tape. Just keep an eye on that as you guys navigate Taurus season. But overall, you guys, it definitely feels that there is a lot of beautiful transformation coming through for you, a lot of spiritual insights unlocking during Taurus season, some understanding that you maybe didn't have prior to this time, where things will be much more clear for you. So I'm going to go ahead and end your message here, but as always, comment below. Let me know what you guys have planned for Taurus season, how this message may have resonated with you. And if you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next video. And I will see you then. Bye. Hey Pile 2, if you guys picked out this little fluorite crystal, this is going to be your reading all about Taurus season. So let's go ahead and see what is ahead for you guys. We're going to start with some pre-shuffle cards, then we're going to get into a few more decks shuffled on camera, closing the reading out with your charms. So for Pile 2, you guys start with the 4 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the 2 of Coins, and Uranus. Okay. So listen, Pile 2. With Uranus coming up here, I definitely feel like you guys are being pushed out of your comfort zone big time during Taurus season. Now, there's a lot of swords energy here, so I do think for some of you guys, this shift, this push might have more to do with like your thought processes, realizations that you're having, the way you're thinking about things or communicating about things. But either way, Uranus is like kind of like tower energy. It's when we are pushed out of the nest by the universe, to put it nicely. And sometimes with Uranus energy, it can be very shocking or unexpected. We kind of realize that the way that we were looking at the situation was not accurate, or we're seeing it in a new and different light. It's kind of like I'm getting from looking at this card, there's a lot of cloudy energy here, right? And so this Uranus is coming in to sort of shock the system. It's here to be like a thunderbolt and just push this cloudiness out of the way so we can really see the truth of the situation. And it may feel for some of you guys like a little bit shocking or unconventional. You guys might during this time be tapping into like unconventional sides of yourself, unconventional situations, things that are really unfamiliar to you. Starting off Taurus season, we have a 4 of Swords. So I kind of am feeling for a lot of you guys, like coming into Taurus season, this energy of Uranus has already stricken your life in some capacity. Because what I feel is that you're coming into Taurus season just needing a mental rest, needing a mental break, wanting to not fight it, just wanting to like rest and recharge and just like take a mental break from whatever has been going on. But I definitely can see with the 9 of Swords being here that whatever this change is that's going on in your life is causing a little bit of anxiety for you. 9 of Swords is anxiety. It is kind of fears. It is rumination where we're kind of up all night thinking about it. And even if it's not like when you're physically feeling the symptoms of anxiety, the 9 of Swords can simply just be when our mind is really preoccupied, right? Like the thing is always on our minds. It's always ruminating. It doesn't stop racing, okay? But the thing that I always like to say about the Nine of Swords, because this is true for me, this is how I experience it, is that sometimes the Nine of Swords, even though this looks like a really scary energy, it's more so us making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, the situation is not always as bad as what we think it is. It's just scary because it feels like it's something new and different that you guys have not yet had to experience. And I'm really being drawn to this dog. I feel like the dog is showing me that there is comfort and support around you during this time. Dogs are about loyalty. They're about companionship. So I think that if you guys are starting to feel really anxious about this change you're experiencing, you should just feel comfort in the fact that there are people around you. Maybe some of you have a fur baby that you can rely on during this time, or like a service animal that can help you to mitigate the symptoms of anxiety if you're experiencing it, if it's debilitating for you. But there is support, is what I'm trying to say through all of that. As we end Taurus season, I'm starting to see things get a little bit more chill for you with this Two of Pentacles. This is a bit more of a flexible energy. This is an energy of being really smart about the way that we are managing our resources. So for some of you guys, maybe this Uranus energy has taken a hit to like your finances or something in your life that has impacted your resources in some capacity. And with the Two of Coins, we're balancing, right? We are able to juggle competing priorities. If it is to do with finances, you guys are able to kind of successfully keep an eye on what's coming in, what's going out, kind of more closely monitoring things and allowing the flow of resources in and out in a balanced way. Okay. But Two of Coins, definitely, this card feels much lighter and brighter than how we're starting off Taurus season. And it feels a bit more controlled and things are becoming a bit more flexible for you versus this energy of being very concerned and worried. Almost like we're stepping into power more than remaining disempowered toward the end of Taurus season. So let's look at this archetype card. Ooh, and you guys get the Destroyer. Okay. I mean, this really just kind of echoes the exact same message of Uranus. You know, the Destroyer is an archetype of coming in and literally like blowing it up, right? Letting the tower fall down to the ground, releasing the thing that's no longer serving us so that we are able to rebuild something new that feels more authentic to us. And I do think that with this Destroyer energy, there is an energy here of being like, this is unexpected, right? And that could be why there's a little bit of this energy of feeling anxious about it and needing to take a mental break from it all. But the important thing to know about both the Destroyer and Uranus, you guys, is that this is not meant to be like permanent turmoil for you. This is about redirection. It's about redirecting your life in a way that's going to be more beneficial for you ultimately in the end, okay? Even though it might not feel pleasant in the moment. Let's see what else we're gonna get for pile 2. So what else does pile 2 need to know about Taurus season? Whew, what is the situation about? Interesting that romance flipped over. So for some of you guys, this could be about a romantic relationship. So we have the energy of courage coming up. Oh, we have glamour coming up. Okay, this is beautiful, you guys. Seriously. I know that this reading might feel a little bit like, oh, scary, but it's really not. I feel with these two cards coming up, there's a lot of really great energy coming up for you through this change that you'll be experiencing during Taurus season. Courage. By shining brave and true and bright, my courage returns this night. And that's kind of what I feel this transition into toward the ending of Taurus season. I think that there is a lot of fear that you guys are going to be experiencing with this shocking change that's shifting gears in your life in some capacity. But I think toward the middle of Taurus season, you guys are going to start to muster up the strength to step into your power to really deal with the situation in a more empowered and controlled way versus just sitting and being preoccupied over it and letting it consume you, okay? I think that once you guys go through this situation, you're going to be much better equipped to handle like literally anything that's thrown your way. Or if something similar ever happens to you in the future, you're now going to have the skills to better manage it. We also have glamour. Into this mirror, I now see the realms of possibility. So it's like turning this scary, fearful energy into the energy of creation and saying, okay, this is really scary because this comfort zone is being removed from my life. But this is allowing me the opportunity to now see other possibilities, create something. When I think of glamour, I think of beauty. I think of creation, right? And I feel like that's what this Two of Pentacles is talking about. It's about starting to find more control in the balance of things, the balance of transitioning out of this, but then transitioning and investing into something new that you want to create. Looking at all the possibilities that are out there as well with the Two of Coins. This can also be about juggling, right? Many different things. And for some of you, just on a more basic level, maybe this month you guys are focusing on your physical appearance in some capacity, your beauty regimen, your looks, makeup, hair, nails, any of the things. So let's see, what else does pile 2 need to know about Taurus season for them? We're going to get a couple of these and then we'll transition into your charms, okay? So what else is coming through for pile 2? You guys have a lot of purple energy coming up here as well with courage and glamour and this kind of like indigo-y color in the Destroyer card. So I feel like the color purple could be significant for you. Like purple is a very royal, regal energy. It also is the same color or coincides with the crown chakra. So this is like spiritual intervention for a lot of you guys. Or an intervention that's pushing you onto your spiritual path or redirecting you rather. Okay. So we have the Empress of the Night finale. After the storm, I emerge, a shiny new star. Beautiful energy. And it's sacral chakra energy, which is kind of giving that go with the flow vibe of the Two of Coins like I was getting, right? I think that maybe this group, the anxiety and the stress comes from needing to be in control of the situation. And I feel like this is going to be a situation where you can't control it because it's just going to happen. It's divine intervention for whatever reason. And as you emerge from it, you're going to be learning, I think, how to be a little bit more flexible and relaxed with things. Okay. What else for pile 2? Ooh, we have the 7 sisters. Sisterhood enriches my life. See, remember what I was saying about the dog? There's support all around you. And I feel like this group will be getting to spend a little bit more time with people, you know, spending a little bit more time with like-minded souls that are there to support and uplift you. Maybe this is like an energy of making new friends, you know, putting yourself out there to meet new people. And I want to say this too, guys, because I feel like the way that I've been reading this, it's felt to me like it's more like something happening to you that you're not expecting. But the destroyer energy can also be when we destroy it, right? This might be actually a lot more empowering than I've been reading it to be up until this point, because the destroyer talks about how there's always a part of us deep down that wants it to end, right? Or not always, but like in certain situations when we know that it's gone past its expiration date, like there is this energy of like tear it all down, right? So this might be something that's more within your realm of control than you ultimately realize when it happens for you. And there are people here that you can be communicating with and connecting with that are here to support and guide you and uplift you during this time. At the bottom of the deck here, we have this energy of the Amber Star. Let go. I surrender and allow myself to grieve, okay? So you guys could be very well grieving a loss during this time as well. And I feel this energy of surrender is going to be so important because this is not feeling like something that you can really like it's coming to an end regardless, you know? So very interesting, pile 2. I'm going to go ahead and clean off our space and get set up for your charms. So I'll be right back. All right, group 2, I've got your stack of cards off to the side here in case we need them, but let's go ahead and see what else, oops, you guys may need to know about Taurus season. Okay, so that card flew out. Let's see. All right, so we've got a swan, we have a U, an I, an X. Ooh, lots of stuff coming up here. We're gonna get rid of this D because it didn't land anywhere in particular, but this is gonna go here. So for some of you guys, I feel, hold on, give me a second. So you guys have a lot of cards, charms rather, here in the life purpose area. You know, this is so interesting because the playing cards have to do with fate, okay? And the elephant has to do with community. Fate and destiny and community. So something about this situation is, I think, pushing you toward your purpose as it pertains to these themes of a fated community that you're supposed to be involved with or around. People that are here to support you. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with people that are not supportive. And that's what this kind of tower energy is about. But I see here that the purpose of this is to do with community. You guys have the letter X and the letter I here. This could be like an actual ex, like an ex-partner. Because remember, we did have that romance card that showed itself for a moment. We also have the letter I, which could have to do with I as in like you, the viewer. These can also be initials too. And we have an ending here with the letter U. So that could be initials as well. I definitely think that your career is being highlighted this month too, with the button being here. This is all about pushing through. This is about kind of tying up loose ends, keeping things buttoned up with regard to your career. And we have a butterfly here with finances, which butterflies have to do with transformation and change, developments. So I feel positive energy here around your career. It's interesting, the swan is coming up in the challenges area because the swan has to do with loyalty. It also has to do with partnership, companionship. So I think that maybe for some of you guys, part of the thing that we are destroying during this time has to do with people that are not loyal to us or a situation that's not been loyal to us. And I think the true intent of said situation or person is being revealed so that you're able to align with the right types of people. You guys also have the letter S here, so this could be someone's initials or stand for something significant starting with the letter S. But overall, it feels like this could be connected to career. I feel like for some of you it is love and romance or friendship. For others of you, this might be connected to career because of these areas having charms on them. Could be something at work going on here. So very interesting reading. Pile number 2. Please comment below. Let me know what's been going on for you and what you have planned for this upcoming Taurus season. Let me know your situation and how you feel these messages may have resonated with that. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next video, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you guys picked out this green Aventurine, this will be your reading for Taurus season. So we're going to start with some tarot and oracle cards. We're doing a few decks shuffled on camera in addition to these, and then we will close out the reading with your charms. So let's go ahead and get started. So starting us off, we've got Judgment, the 8 of Coins, Queen of Cups, and we have the Ascendant. Okay. So with the Ascendant card coming up here, this card is talking about sort of the way that we are showing up in a situation, the way, kind of the energy that we're putting out, the way others perceive us. Really thinking about the choices and decisions and the way that we're acting and speaking and doing. Do all of these things actually portray what our intentions are within? Okay. the ascendant can also talk about the lens through which we're viewing the situation as well, kind of our filter that we view everything through. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, there's an energy of perception. Like, how are other people seeing you? How are other people viewing you? And there's also, with the ascendant, a message here that sometimes it's important to dig deeper than just what's on the face, right? And I definitely see here with this 8 of coins that there's going to be a little bit more work and attention to detail coming through for this group during Taurus season. But feels like there's a need to get a little deeper, look beyond appearances a little bit, and maybe for some of you guys too, you're starting something new with the ascendant here. Because with judgment, I don't think it's something new. I actually think that with judgment coming up here, we have an opportunity for a new beginning in some capacity, because judgment is sort of when we are reevaluating our circumstances in life, reevaluating a situation, and deciding. It's like when you know that you want to rebirth, right? You know that you want to change. You know you're wanting to freshen up the energy. You want a fresh start with something. And it's this period of evaluation around what does that look like and how can I achieve it? I kind of feel there's a lot of people involved in this new beginning energy for some of you guys. So there could be other people that you need to influence, other people that you need to network with, connect with, lead, something along those lines. But there's definitely this energy of like deciding either we want to give something a second chance, or we want a rebirth into something new. And even if we're going with the second chance, there's a need to kind of look at it through fresh eyes, look at it with a fresh perspective. Breathe life into it, revive it in some way. I think with the 8 of coins, you guys are going to be hard at work. For a lot of you guys, this could be about careers specifically, but the 8 of coins is all about when we fine tune our craft, right? And I kind of feel with this card that there's this energy of, I think, wanting more for yourself. I'm really drawn to this kind of castle, this ivory castle in the backdrop. To me, this looks like a person who is working, like someone who is working their way up in a sense. That maybe the vision for long term is to be able to relax and rest and be in this castle, to be of a certain status or stature with this situation. But this Taurus season is going to be more about you guys putting in the work to really fine tune your skills. And it is an energy of kind of getting into the nitty gritty, the nose to the grindstone type of energy. Once you've mastered your craft and put in your time, then you can graduate to the ivory tower. And I feel like this is where you guys are putting in your time. Getting better at what you're doing through practice and skill and being meticulous here and hard work. With the Queen of Cups here, I feel like there's a desire to do what you love. So for some of you, I feel like you're very fortunate that this could be a situation where you really love what you're doing. But for a lot of you guys, I kind of feel there's a bit of dissatisfaction here because we do have this reevaluation for a reason. So there's something that you are feeling needs to be refreshed, something that you're feeling needs to be judged or reevaluated in some capacity. And the way, the expression on this Queen of Cups face is really funny to me. Doesn't she look kind of like concerned or maybe slightly dissatisfied? She's got like the furrowed brow here. So, ooh, and there's a scorpion here. Scorpio energy coming through, and there's doves here, which have to do with peace for me. So, at least that's what's coming to mind for me right now. You guys might know some other things that they mean. Comment below if you do. But when I see that scorpion, I think of deep transformation. And with the Queen of Cups being here, I feel like you all are wanting to feel deeply emotionally connected to this work that you're doing, this effort that you're putting in. And more than anything, I think you're wanting peace with what you're doing. So let's continue. Our next card is Aletheia. So this card is about truth. which makes a lot of sense with Judgment coming up, because we are, during this time, it looks like you guys are kind of being called to look at the facts, look at the truth of the situation. I think that this is going to be, Taurus season is going to be a time where you're going to be achieving a lot more clarity around where you're going and what you're doing, moving through any distortions around the situation. I also think that this is about living in your truth, right? Like living authentically with whatever the situation is, whatever it is that what you're doing. So let's continue here. So what else does pile 3 need to know about Taurus season? In this situation. Did you guys see authenticity showing itself? I think that's what this Judgment card is about. It's like, is what I'm doing authentic to me? Is it in alignment with my goals? Is it in alignment with how I want to feel? Ooh, we have Harvest coming through first. We love to see that. Ooh, and we have Studying coming up. So yeah, I think it's really interesting that the Harvest card is coming up, because I think that that's what you guys are kind of evaluating at this time, is what are the results of the efforts you've put into this thus far? And to be frank with you, the 8 of Pentacles is not yet when we're in harvest mode, right? The 8 of Pentacles is when we're needing to put a little bit more work and time into something before we can get to our castle where we can reap the rewards. This says, as the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me harvest. I am ready to receive my all. So there's this evaluation of effort, but also maybe an acknowledgement here that there's a little bit more time that this situation needs, a little bit more work that this situation needs before you're going to see the return on your investment that you're desiring. And with this study energy coming up here, there's something you're learning. So some of you guys might actually be going back to school. You might be taking a course or practicing a little bit more even. There's something about continuing to fine tune and hone your craft and continue to acquire the necessary knowledge that you need in order to get to where you want to go ultimately. I'm kind of feeling like this Ascendant card for a lot of you guys is talking about seeing the situation through a different perspective, right? Starting over, starting fresh, trying to be a bit more cognizant about your mindset around the situation. So let's see. Okay. Both of these flew out. So I guess we're going to take them. I feel like I'm supposed to. So we've got Electra, Goddess of Balance, Equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Remember how I was saying there's people involved here. So relationships are going to be significant for you guys during Taurus season, and specifically balanced relationships. So there could be something, especially if this is about work, if you're partnering with anyone, if you're always supporting others, you want to make sure that they are reciprocal partnerships, that there's not an imbalance here. We also have Tegeta, the storyteller, intention. I am the narrator of my life. This makes perfect sense, you guys, because as I was saying with this Ascendant and with the Truth card coming up, like there is a need to kind of, I think, reframe the story that you guys have been telling yourself about this situation a little bit here. And also, you know, to know that you are the narrator of your life, meaning that you're the one that tells the story. So if there's something about the situation that's not making you happy, you have the control to tell a different story to yourself, to take a different path, okay? To set different or clearer intentions about this situation. So we're going to clear these cards off and I'm going to set up for our charms. I will be right back, pile 3. All right, pile 3, let's go ahead. I've got your, let's get your charms. I've got your cards off to the side here in case we need to reference them, but let's take a look to see what else you guys need to know about Taurus season. What else does pile number 3 need to know about Taurus season? Ooh, that one fell down. I'll grab it later. Ooh, got charms flying everywhere. Okay, so let's see. Is this like a little teddy bear? I think it is. All right, give me a second, guys. It's so interesting that we had this message about reciprocal relationships, you guys, because look, you guys have the clothespin over the friendship section here, and the clothespin has to do with security. So I feel like Taurus season is giving you an opportunity to explore more secure relationships or experience more secure friendships in your life. We have some initials here. We have the letter I under romance. So this could be the letter I as in you, my viewer, I, or it could be someone else whose initials are the letter I. We also have the initial for F under family here. That could be significant, a significant name of a person for some of you guys. There's something destined here or fated around your finances with these playing cards. Maybe some of you guys are reading tarot cards and making money. I don't know. And I do think that there is an ending here that you're navigating through, right? And that makes a lot of sense with the Judgment card, because Judgment is sort of like, you know, it's the evaluation period before we close out a chapter. It's this decision around, am I going to renew this, or am I going to move into a different area to refresh my life, right? So there is this energy of you guys navigating through an ending. And the teddy bear, actually, for me, when I first saw it, I thought of comfort. I thought of like inner child stuff. I thought of like being comforted or soothed. I know that in the charm kit, the little key that I have says the teddy bear has to do with trauma. So that's kind of interesting. This is under challenges here. So this could be like some sort of inner child stuff that's bubbling up to the surface for some of you that you're navigating through. But ultimately, like, this is giving you the key, the spiritual insight that you need, the answer that you need to unlock new insights around the path you're supposed to be on, okay? You guys have a lot of initials. So again, there's people that keep coming up here. We've got the letter C, F, and I. So there could be multiple people of significance that are showing up for you. And on the ground, the two charms that fell was the letter O and the letter D, I think. I'm looking at them. I can't reach them right now because if I do, I'm going to mess everything up. But there's more initials that flew out when I was pulling your charms. So definitely be curious to know if you guys think the initials are significant to anything going on with you during Taurus season. But looks really interesting, group number 3. Comment below. What do you guys have planned for Taurus season? How do you feel like these messages resonated with you? I always love hearing from you guys in the comments, so please let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading, and I'll see you there. Bye.